Hey guys, welcome back. So I am on my last bit of pearl here. This is it. I definitely need to order more, but I haven't been able to get the big packs. And usually they're a little cheaper than the small ones, but I think at this point I might not have to be so picky and just grab some pearl in a 2 ounce. I wish they made all the colors in the 1 pound. I know a lot of people mix their own. One of these days I'm going to, but it's just so much easier when it's already made for you. So, I was cleaning out my cupboards. Yes, I do this a lot. I do a lot of cleaning in here because it seems like every time I do a video, I end up making a mess. So today it was my drawers. And what did I find today? I found some black oil paint. So I thought, ooh, I know what I'm going to do with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this big ball of pearl here. We're going to take it all. I'm going to make a silver with this. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add some black, which of course is one color that is not in front of me. There we go. Not a whole lot, but we're going to turn this into silver. I just wanted to condition it a little bit. Okay, and to this we're just going to add a tad bit of black. Let's see how this goes. You can go really dark silver if you want. I like going just a light silver. You could probably add silver clay to this as well. Which I do have a lot of silver, so I may try that as well. Alrighty, so let's do a couple more times. You know what? I'm going to pause you for a moment. See, this is the silver we got. It's just a light silver, so I'm going to add a little bit more black. Pause it and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so this is our silver that we have. So now we're just going to add some colors. So I'm going to grab some blue. I'm going to add a little bit of green. So I'm going to slice these up. I'm going to do a green on this one. Let's see. I'm going to do a purple, a blue. I'm going in my drawer here because I've got so many already open blocks of clay. I just want to get rid of this. So on each of these, I'm just basically going to mix them. So I'll probably do 3 greens, maybe 3 blues, and maybe 3 purples. Okay, so I'm going to go a little more green. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. And then I'm going to hit pause as I color all of these. Okay, so I have a green. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with blue, purple. This is navy blue, but I'm going to go ahead and use the navy blue on one. Then I'll do an ultramarine on one. And then a regular purple on one. And then I might take out some silver clay and add a little bit of colors to that. So let me go ahead and get started and I will be back. All right, so we're not quite done, but I pulled out some silver. This is a color I don't use a whole lot. So this is going to be a dark gray, but what happens if we add a little bit of pearl to it? Since I'm almost out of pearl, maybe I can add silver and just make it a little lighter by adding a little bit of pearl to that. All right. Yeah, I just pulled it off instead of cut it off. All right. There's nothing worse than running out of colors. But it worked well. Okay, so it's still a little darker, but that's okay. I'm going to add a little more pearl to this. Might as well get rid of it, I guess. And then we'll add more silver to that, so we can make a nice big block of this stuff. I'm going to cut that in half. Yeah, my chair's still broken. I didn't even fix it last night. And I can't leave my feet on the ground. They have to be like up. Alright, so here's some blue. And if you only want to do 3 colors, you can only do 3 colors. I am going for a wide range of the blues and the greens. Okay, so, wow, that was the ultramarine. And this, believe it or not, was a navy. They look pretty identical. So I'm going to go ahead and darken the one with the navy a little more. This one, really cool teal color. That one came from using forest green. So it's premo forest green mixed with the pearled silver. And I really like that color. I think that turned out awesome. Alrighty, so now we have our dark blue. All we need is purple. So let me run this through a few more times. We're going to shut you off another time. And we're going to go find some purple. Okay, so that's really dark. Okay, so those are 2 for the blue, 2 for the green. Kind of got an in-between there. And this one we're going to do purple. So let me go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we got a bunch of colors here. And these are all rolled at a 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to create different thicknesses for each. So I'm hoping I can get a couple 3s. A couple 5s. I'm not worried about them being perfect squares. I may have to make more of that, but I'm like just about out of pearl. So I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. So we got one blue now. A big blue and a green. Okay, so we're just going to put all these here. And you don't have to use the same colors. We're going to stack all this up. Alright, so let's start with this blue that we have and see if we can get, I don't know, some squares at a number 3 here. And we do. That's that one. This is, see if we can get a number 5 as well. Or we'll just take this blue, make a number 3. And then I'll take both of these blues and make them into one. And I can probably make a number 5 out of it. So this is just going to help the depth. Okay. So that's that one. So it's kind of an in-between of both of those. Let's see if I can get one more. And you're going to do this to all of your squares. I would make a little more, obviously, than I did. But because I'm almost out of these colors, I didn't really have a choice. So if you have silver, you don't have to add the black into it. This is going to make a nice, I don't know, we're going to do something with those. Whatever's left over, we're going to use that. I think we can make some pretty nice Makumigani cane with the rest of it. But that's literally what this is. Just a little different. Okay, so there's a 3 and a 5 of that. I'm going to save this for later. I'll take this light one. And we will start, actually we can probably make, we'll just make 2 3s with these. And maybe I can make a 5. So I've got a lot to go. So I feel like all I've been doing is pausing you. But I don't want to kind of make you sit through the tedious part. Let's do a 5 on this one. Okay, I'm going to save this. Yeah, I still have 3 more to go, 4 more to go, so I'm going to pause you one more time. Alrighty, so there's our mess, right? So we're going to make 4 stacks. So I'm going to use silver for on top of all my stacks. So I'm going to go green, blue. I'll do a dark purple and a light green here. And again, you don't have to worry about what colors you use in each stack. Just add some colors. I'll do another green and a blue. Oop, I already used a small blue. Oh, actually, that's lighter blue, but... And I just told you not to worry about it, and here I am worrying about it, right? So what do we have? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't really have a choice. So we're just going to stick these here. Like that. Now, could I made another stack? I probably could have. Okay, so now we have 4 stacks. Ta-da! Now we're going to grab some oil paint. And then we're going to let this dry. So I'm going to turn this over so I have a nice surface here. I have a lot of blues, so we'll change them up. This is oil. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is a little old. Don't use oil paint. I'm going to grab a little finger thingy. Let me grab a finger cut and then I'll come back. Alrighty, well, I have a bunch of finger cuts somewhere, but I've also been decluttering, so they may end up have been in another drawer now. So we're going to grab some plastic wrap. I can't think. Oh, I had gloves, duh. Oh, well. Fine, I'll use the gloves. So we're just going to put a very small amount of the oil paint on it. And then I'm going to let it dry a little bit. So I will probably take my dogs out for a walk. While this dries. I doubt it's going to take very long. So again, you just want a small amount. I didn't think it was going to just come out the way it did. Okay, so all right, so I think we're good. All right, so hopefully that's actually got a lot on it, just because of the coverage. All right, so we're gonna let that dry a little bit. I'm gonna go take the animals for a walk, and when I come back, we're just gonna add the ones that we set aside right on top, which is why we set it aside, so we don't get our fingers all messed up. And then we're gonna manipulate it into a Makunigani cane, and we're gonna see if we have some abalone. So we'll see you in a bit. Alrighty guys, we are back, totally winded. My gosh. It's like 53 out there with the wind chill, which, yes, for some of you, that's warm. But the humidity is like up to 62. And boy, oh boy, my back hurt. So, it wasn't really fun. But we made it. We're alive. We are here. And now, what are we doing? We are stacking everything up. Okay. So, now, like a regular Makunigani, Komi, whatever. I lost my train of thought. Like I said, I'm winded. My brain's not working. So now we're going to do what we normally do. Oop, you know what? First, before we do what we normally do, we're going to get the rest of this oil paint off of here. Because I made a big smudge over here. Alright, there we go. Alrighty, I think we got it. And this is why we didn't want to put the oil paint on the very top here. So this is going to take us a while to squish it all down. And I probably could have squished it down, you know, a little bit. And then stacked it. It probably would have been better. But we'll see if it gives us the same results. It's definitely a lot to squish. Alright, so we're going to squish it down just a little bit more. And then we're going to squish it back into a little square. I just want to see how thick they are. Yeah, I'm going to put that on top. I'm just going to do a little more. Should be good. Okay, now we're just going to squish it back into the square. And we're not going to use really any tools on this. We may use a paintbrush, because we don't want holes or anything like that in it. I just want some twists and some turns. I feel like I didn't use that much clay, but it made a lot. Okay, so I don't want to use paintbrushes because I have a habit of snapping them in half here. So I'm trying to find the little knitting needle that we used yesterday. Okay, so obviously you want to go all the way down without going through. Go right here. Okay. And then we're just going to use our finger. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get all the way down towards the bottom. So, alright. I guess we'll try the first slice. See how it looks. It's really hard clay, which is unbelievable. Just sitting there for a half hour or so. Usually it's not this hard. And the clay was pretty well conditioned. So let me grab, I'm going to try this. That side looks pretty cool. So if I don't like the top layer, then I use the side. Okay. Okay. So now, here we go, right? Well, not as abalone as I was hoping. So we're gonna go like that. I'll break it up just a little more. You know, you probably could use like a ball tool. Let me grab one of those real quick. And that can be my finger with a little more pressure. No, it's not in that one. So it has to be in this one. All right. There we go. You know what's really cool? I'll show you. I'm just going to do this on the top. Just cutting the top with the holes. Here, let me kind of... We're not going to squish it all the way in yet. I just wanted to kind of show you something. You'd make a lot more holes than that, though. Just get a flat piece of clay, and then you set them with the holes on top. Is really cool to do. We'll do that one day. Okay, so now let's go ahead and squish all that back up. I feel like I need maybe some smaller holes too. Okay. Yes, I'm trying to clean up as I go. Okay, so hopefully this will be more what I'm looking for. But if I look at an abalone shell, or abalone, I mean, it depends where you're from. People call it different things. They're pretty long. Like inside a mussel, or whatever they come. I don't know where they come from. I think it's a mussel shell. But the inside is like rings more than anything. And striations, but they're pretty long. They're not real short. So hopefully I didn't make them really short. And I think I've got a bad knife. So that might be also my problem. Alright, so I don't think that's the same blade. Maybe it is. We'll try that. This one's a little more flexible than the other one. Oh, but it cuts through so much better. So I only put a small bit of oil paint on it, but I don't see it. So I honestly don't know where it went. I can see it on the side here. Maybe I didn't put enough. You don't want to put a whole bunch on it. I know that. I'll make this even. So try a couple more slices and see what happens, but okay, well, it still kind of looks like a shell, but I don't know where the black went. I don't know where any of the oil paint went. So maybe I should have gone a little bit heavier on it. So when you do it, try and go a little heavier than I did. I would try and make it again, but unfortunately I'm out of pearl, and I don't know. I don't know if I want to use the silver. But what happens if I did it without it drying? So you know what? I'm gonna try one thing here. Now, obviously, I'm just going to use silver. I hate even thinking of opening this up again. Okay, that's more of what I did before. A lot more, actually. So I'm going to let that dry just a little bit, not as much as the last one. And I want to see if I get more out of that. So I'm going to start from the bottom. I think because it was on certain layers, that you literally have to grab that layer to see the black. And that's why you try and make a whole bunch of different sizes and slices so that you get them somewhere. So I've got a little bit showing up on this layer, but really not as much as I thought I'd get. But anyways, it's still kind of cool. It still looks like a shell, and I'm not going to cut any more up. We're just going to kind of grab a couple here. I do like the lighter colors because I think I'm going to cut this up. I think this is going to be really dark. So since it didn't come out exactly how I wanted it, I'm going to take some of this and cut it up with some of this dark. Just kind of tear it up. Okay, get some of this light green in there. Alright, so I'm just going to finish this one. And finish this one. Save those for just a veneer. Some of these are really thick. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit of a light green there. Some over there. And right there. Now, it's not going to look like a shell anymore, but it just gives it a little bit of a different look than the other one. Oh, don't want to go too thin. All right, so there's your abalone. This one's got a little bit of the black coming through right here, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of what we were going for, but unfortunately it's not on every slice. And I don't want to put black on every slice, but if it's going to be that small amount that I use, then maybe I will. And then the rest of it kind of looks like mother of pearl, basically. So you can take, oop, we don't want to use that one. Well, we kind of do now. Nope, it's still really wet. I don't know if I'm going to pray with that. But you could take this and just make really cool round beads with this. I wouldn't do a swirl bead, although that would probably look really well too. The only reason I say that is because it's all metallic. So when you're done, you're going to get a really nice shine on it. But let's see what a round bead looks like. I mean, you can use this as an inlay. So, and there's no real design to this, but it would work. So, alrighty. So, I don't know what we're going to do with this yet, but that was the abalone cane that I wanted. It worked, but I would go a little bit more on the oil paint. So basically, I just covered it and made sure that it was like a very, very thin layer where it looked like it was dry already on top. Go a little bit more, or do a second really thin coat right over it and try it that way. And hopefully you'll get a little bit more black coming through. But I still like it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I still like it. So I hope you guys did too, and we will talk to you later. Bye.